friends, welcome back to Truthatude. My name is Lindsey. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your support. If you're new around here, welcome. Every week I put out videos talking about confidence, how to build confidence, and the issues we face as women maintaining our self-confidence. So today we are going to talk about self-care. Yes, this ever popular, super trendy word floating around the internet right now. We're going to dive into it as well. Self-care and knowing how to take really good care of yourself and nurturing the relationship that you have with yourself is a huge component of deeply rooted self-confidence. With the abundance of information and advice out there on self-care tips, there can be a lot of information overload, and people tend to make things a little more complicated than they need to be. So I wanted to talk about simple and free self-care tips that you can do at any time that you need a little bit of nurturing or a little bit of love. So, like I mentioned, self-care tends to get a little convoluted, and it is often associated with luxurious bath bombs and rosé, and it's really not that complicated. You don't have to be super into high-end hot tea or treat yourself to an expensive handbag as a form of self-care. You can if you want, and by all means, ladies, do your thing. But really, self-care can be something super, super simple, and it doesn't have to cost you anything. Really, self-care is just whatever you need in the moment to nurture your mind, your body, your spirit, whatever you need to recenter and reground. So I want to give you 5 super simple and free self-care tips. I also want to remind you that self-care doesn't always have to be an activity, and I think there's a lot of, well-intended advice out there, but it makes self-care this overcomplicated, activity that ends up being another to-do on our already swamped to-do list. So these tips that I'm going to give you are just some simple acts of love towards yourself and moments to really just check in with yourself. Number 1 is take a long, hot shower. It sounds so simple and maybe too good to be true, but I will tell you this. Taking a little bit of extra time to just sit in the warm shower at a comfortable temperature and let that hot water run over your face and just enjoy that moment really does, 1, stimulate the blood flow, and 2, relaxes you. It has a very calming effect, and you get to focus on a single sensation and really just enjoy the stillness that comes with it. So treat yourself this week and take an extra 5 minutes to just stand in the warm, hot shower. Make sure it's a comfortable temperature, obviously, but enjoy that time to yourself, especially if you have other people in your life that are relying on you and throwing a ton of, demands your way. It's so nice to have that little moment all to yourself to just enjoy the warmth of that glorious shower, and it doesn't cost you a thing. Number 2 are some simple breathing exercises. We really underestimate sometimes the power of our breath, and it is absolutely free. It is what literally keeps us alive, and the way that we breathe or restrict our breathing can have a major impact on our self-care and our body and how we handle stress. I want you to try this one super simple breathing exercise with me. You are going to close your eyes. You're going to inhale, and then you're going to hold that breath at the top for 5 seconds before releasing it. Now, you can do this as many times as you want, but just doing it one time, honestly, is enough to recenter yourself. So you close your eyes, breathe in, and hold it for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe it out. Doing this and harnessing the power of your breath is a really powerful way to release tension in the body and to refocus yourself. So try this breathing exercise. And this is very simple, but don't knock it until you try it. Number 3 is to find stillness and take a time out. Find somewhere quiet. You can go sit in your car if you need to. We've all done it. Go somewhere where you can be alone and just sit with your breath for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, even 1 minute. And while you're sitting there, close your eyes, and as you breathe in, count to 1, breathe out 2, breathe in 3, breathe out 4, all the way until you get to 10. And then once you hit 10, start at 1, in, 2 out, 3 in, 4 out. And repeat this until you're finished with your time. And boom, you just meditated, girl. I'm telling you, it was a magical moment and you didn't even know you were doing it. But like I said, harnessing the breath and just finding stillness, you don't even have to do the breathing exercise, but just sitting still, if you set a timer for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to take a time out, boom, that is self-care. And I promise you, taking these little timeouts to recenter and refocus will really help you reduce stress, increase your focus, and really just be well all the way around. Number 4 is going to be a little tricky for many of us because our society places so much emphasis on multitasking and doing it all. But number 4 is doing a single focus activity. Sit for 5 to 10 minutes and just do nothing. Absolutely nothing. You can close your eyes, you can stare at the wall, or you can have, a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a glass of water and simply just sit there and focus on drinking your beverage or color or doodle for 5 minutes, but just one singular activity. No music, no TV, just sitting there and doing one single focus activity. One is going to increase your memory and your brain power to focus, and it's also going to recenter you. And this is a wonderful way to exercise the brain at the same time practicing some self-care for yourself. And this, I understand, will be really tough for some, but I do this all the time. I will set a timer for 5 minutes and I will literally just sit there and drink a glass of water for 5 minutes, and it is glorious. I'm telling you, you gotta try it. Number 5 is honor your body. Whatever that means for you on a day-to-day basis. Maybe it's a walk, maybe it's a little bit of light stretching. Maybe it's a foot massage for yourself or a hand massage. If you've never given yourself a foot massage, ladies, stop what you're doing, press pause on the video, and please give yourself a foot massage. You deserve it. Or you could lie on the ground, flat back, legs and arms out, and just lay on the ground for a few minutes. And what this does is it kind of regrounds you literally, but also kind of gives your body a new perspective and can kind of balance out if you have a little bit of vertigo. I know that I suffer with vertigo, and it's very relaxing. We call it corpse pose in yoga. But lying on the ground flat back, as long as, make sure you don't have any back problems or that it's not painful for you, but that is one glorious way to honor your body. And you could always excuse yourself to the bedroom or to the bathroom for a minute and, get a little friendly with yourself. You know what I mean, ladies. That is one way to honor your body. It is also a fabulous form of self-care and self-love. So don't be afraid to get a little friendly with yourself. Obviously, make sure you're in the privacy of your own space, but get a little friendly with yourself. So honor your body. So I know that these 5 tips may seem like no-brainers, but we often forget the very simplest things. They are so simple to do, and they are just as simple not to do. So don't discount these simply because they're not, your luxurious bath bombs or your, double triple fudge chocolate sundae, and you're not treating yourself to an expensive double triple shot latte, frappuccino, caramel, whatever. you can practice self-care in small moments throughout your day, and it doesn't have to be complicated. And self-care should not feel like another task on your to-do list. It should just be small moments that you take time out for yourself to love on you a little bit, recharge, refocus, and reground. Sometimes the self-care gurus, we get a little carried away, but there's no need to buy anything. You don't need any extra equipment. Literally just refocusing on your breath is so powerful enough, and it doesn't need to be regimented. Self-care doesn't need to be something scheduled, but it is important if that's something that you need to do to implement self-care. I definitely have to schedule it, and I treat it like any other important appointment on my calendar, and I take an evening and just practice self-care. And I do a lot of these things. I color, I paint, I definitely lie on the ground for a few minutes or sit and do a single focus activity. So really, ladies, self-care does not have to be complicated, and sometimes we just need that little reminder that it really is that simple of just taking a time out to honor ourselves. So love yourself, honor your body, and be mindful, present, and centered, and this helps you feel more self-confident. Ladies, that is it for this week. It was short and simple, like our self-care activities. You see what I did there? I know, it's crazy. But I hope you liked the video. More importantly, I hope you do some of these things for yourself today. If you want any more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me on social media. I will leave all the links in the description box for you. If you want more content like this, you can also check it out at the blog, truthatude.com. I will leave the link in the description box as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you practice any other forms of self-care that you want to share, definitely leave me a comment below. I would love to check out some of your suggestions, and I'm sure that other viewers would love some of your tips as well. Thanks again for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay true to the Truthatude. Ciao! Hey! Excuse me. I'm trying to film, nosy. Get down. Get down. You're totally photobombing me right now.